Now, page 4, the scourge of illegal immigration. They only come here to work, the immigrant right activists tell us. They argue that these illegals should not be deported because they are contributing to our society, right? That's what we hear, correct? Well, there's a little boy lying in a hospital bed right now in San Diego who is the victim of one of those only come here to work illegals. Little Lennox Lake has now been hospitalized for 19 days. This after an illegal immigrant, Constantino Banda Acosta, smashed his truck into the side of the family car in which Lennox was an occupant. Massive head injuries. He's having cognitive issues right now. No word on when Lennox will ever go home. As for this scum Acosta, new information. Since 2002, Acosta had been deported 17 times. And he violated our border using many different methods. Counterfeit documents, breaching the old dilapidated border fence, hiding in a trunk of a car. Acosta is one very determined criminal. And even prior to assaulting little Lennox, Acosta was a criminal for violating our border over and over and over again. Yet, radical congressmen like Luis Gutierrez continue to argue for leaving illegals like Acosta alone because they are, quote, not a threat.
But let's be clear. Republicans oppose the whole concept of prioritizing deportation for the most severe criminals. In part, they opposed it because it was instituted by agencies in charge making decisions and prioritizing the deportation of serious criminals without, according to the majority, consultation with the Congress.
Stop the tape. A couple things here. Number one, that's not the way our criminal justice system works, Congressman. We don't prioritize necessarily our criminal justice system. In other words, we don't back burner rape cases because there has now been a murder case. They can happen simultaneously. We can chew gum and walk at the same time. So yes, we can deport all people who have violated our sovereignty. All illegal immigrants can be deported. Yes, some of them should be probably held in a jail cell rather than a holding tank. The ones who are criminals that we know of, and the ones who are not criminals that we know of, yeah, maybe they can be held in a less secure facility, but all of them need to be deported. And yes, the president must consult with Congress because Congress creates the law, Congressman. Roll tape.
At the time, the majority leader of this body, Mr. McCarthy, said the structure and stability of our democratic system depends upon the president executing the laws passed by Congress and not unilaterally rewriting them.
Stop the tape. That's because, Congressman, sorry I have to remind you of this, we are a nation of laws, and the President of the United States cannot just go and unilaterally rewrite the law. We have this thing called Article 1, Section 8 of the United States Constitution. Article 1, Section 8 gives the Congress the power to create law over immigration. And the President does not have the power to rewrite that law. So yes, in theory, under the United States Constitution, the President and the Congress must work hand in glove. That's called checks and balances. Roll tape.
From Idaho on this committee said, quote, "It's not the president's prerogative to make the law. He's supposed to be a constitutional expert. He's supposed to be a constitutional lawyer who actually lectured on constitutional law, but he never understood the difference between the executive and the legislative branch of government."
Stop the
end
tape.
quote.
Okay, a couple things here. Barack Obama was hyper-constitutional, and number two, the congressman, whoever it is he's quoting there, is wrong. Barack Obama knew exactly what he was doing by circumventing the United States Constitution. It's not because of ignorance. It's because he got away with it. And it's the Republicans in Congress who allowed him to get away with it. They should have brought him up on impeachment charges as soon as he started this nonsense, even before that, frankly, for other crimes and misdemeanors. But on this one alone, he should have been brought up on impeachment charges. Roll tape.
So said my colleague on the Judiciary Committee. Now, under this president, a new set of executive orders has been instituted, and I haven't heard a peep from the other side about the structure and stability of our democracy.
Stop the tape. That's because this president, the 45th president, that would be Donald Trump, is actually working within the law. He's not trying to change the law. The law has been passed by Congress, and Donald Trump has what is called, Congressman, plenary power to execute the law within the parameters of the law, but the way he needs to get it done. He has some latitude here. That's what the law allows. That's what the Constitution allows, Congressman. So the next time you hear this radical temporary politician spew his anti-American filth in Congress, remember one thing. Remember little Lennox Lake. In that hospital, head trauma, family struggling right now, trying to cope. And also remember that illegal immigrant who put him there, the alien who only came here to work.